Only God could rescue me. Only God could set me free. Only God. Only God. Only God.
Hello, welcome to Only God Rescued Me. I'm Lisa Meister, your host, and I am so excited to introduce to you Andi Bond. Welcome, Andi.
Thank you so much, Lisa. It's an honor. It really is. I'm very happy to be here with you. Thank you.
So excited to have you here. We have an incredible vision that you have, that God has given you, and you're going to bring something incredible to the survivor community. And you yourself are a survivor. Is that true?
That is true. I am also a survivor.
So we're hoping to have you at another point to tell your story. But today, can you tell us what God has asked for you to do?
Yes, absolutely. And thank you so much for the opportunity to talk about the project. I have told my story also if people wanted to go and watch Emma's show, the Imagination podcast, and also Aquarius Rising Africa. I've shared pieces of my story, but I'm very happy. I would be happy and honored to come back and share it here as well with your audience. But the project that we're working on that I'm just very excited to share about is a song called Spiritual Warrior. And we've been working on it for, since maybe January, February. And there's a group of survivors that I've been working with, and you know how we've all kind of been growing this network and community across the globe. And one of the people that's just been such an amazing blessing has been Emma from the Imagination podcast. And I was talking to her, I can't even remember if it was the day before or what, but I just had this vision. It was a vision. I just remember very kind of, it's like a movie playing in my head that was a song that had a video with it. And it was all written and performed by survivors of SRA and MK Ultra. And both of us just got the goosebumps and said, yes, we definitely have to. Yes. And so just lyrics started coming, and I was sharing it with some of the survivors in my group that I have and I work with, and started to ask if any other people would like to be involved and if there were some lyrics. And so at this point, we have a number of survivors involved in the project, and including yourself, which I'm very honored to have you on board. But there's a group of about 10 so far, 10 or 11. And so the entire song is being written by survivors and it will be sung by survivors. And the whole video will also feature survivors. It's beautiful how it's coming together. We have our first chunk of money to go start making the actual song in the studio. We have a studio that we're working with in Nashville, and Amy Pfeffer and Emma are really helping me take the lead on this project and bring it into reality. And yeah, it's really just been a beautiful process, and I can't wait to see how it unfolds, really.
What an incredible idea to make a collaboration of survivors to use the creativities that God has blessed us with to make something beautiful.
Yeah. And that's the thing that for me, and I know there are other survivors that have gifts when it comes to music. I've met a lot of survivors that have gifts when it comes to music. And those that don't have musical gifts or talents have some sort of beautiful ability in one arena or another. There always. And I do understand that part of why people like us are targeted sometimes is specifically for those either spiritual gifts or artistic abilities or things like that. And a lot of talented young people get pulled into the entertainment industry, the music industry, the movie industry, and it goes down a very dark path, as we know. And it's an opportunity to not only use our voices, but to use our voices to sing for God and not to forward any sort of the demonic system or the Luciferian system whatsoever, because music is such a healing modality in and of itself. And it really has been overwhelmingly healing to be able to take back our authority in God, take back our voices, and to use that song in the way that I think God originally meant it, as medicine. So, yeah, it's I don't know if that was a bit of a tangent, but
No, I think it's a very important tangent because the enemy did steal our giftings and tried to twist them. And
yeah,
he really used them against us because he used them against our innocence
yeah,
and against our morality, even, and against the destiny that God gave us to use them in. And this is a way for us to take it back and use it to the glory of God and to be able to stand up and say, I'm a survivor and I'm not ashamed of it. I
yeah.
can stand in the truth, I can proclaim it, and I can take back my gifting that God has given me, which is this will be yours, your gifting, the blessing that God has given you, and the vision that God has given you. And we can stand with you in this. And it's just beautiful all the way around. I love it.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it feels really a blessing. Like I said, it's been very divinely led each step of the way, everyone that's involved in the project and everything else. And it's just really an honor. The other thing too is number one, let's say the purpose behind this video and the song. Number one, I went and I spoke about the healing of music and healing that comes to survivors that get to share their voice and share their story, which is why platforms like yours are so important. But the purpose is also to, show people that we actually exist. There are people that have gone through these programs, the MK Ultra, the military projects, the SRA, all of it. And some of us survived. And we're real, we exist. This is a full on spiritual battle, which is why we named the song Spiritual Warrior, because, those people that have been and continue to be subjected to SRA, subjected to MK Ultra, subjected to pedophilia, subjected to abuse what's in many different forms. It's very important for people to see the actual faces behind this, to see the actual stories, to see the actual lives in one way or another, these are real stories, these are real people, and it really is a full on spiritual battle. And the one thing that I have found as a common thread is that the way that we survived is through God. Without God, there's no way whatsoever that I would be here. And it's an important, I feel like, weapon against darkness, a spark of hope in the darkness, to use our voices to sing about freedom, about taking that authority back, about joy and the loving expression of God, and how God literally walks through the most depth of darkness with people. And yeah, I feel like it's like a bullet to the heart of the enemy. Well,
Absolutely is. It absolutely is.
yeah.
That's beautiful. Thinking of it like all these songs, when you have more coming out, I'm thinking of them as sparklers out there.
Absolutely. And that's the thing too. There are so many gifted, talented musicians and stuff in the survivor community. I that's another thing too that I foresee as a renaissance, not only in music, but in art and in entertainment, because all of those modalities and important vehicles for the inspiration, for hope, that movies, films, songs, they really move us. And they've been so captured by the Luciferian Brotherhood for so long. I foresee a whole burst of incredible creativity, a whole new culture that really is based on truth and love and not so twisted. And that's going to be a beautiful thing to behold. And I look forward to not only hearing this song and the voices with this song, but I could definitely foresee there's so many people that have come across my path in this project that other songs that maybe different even styles and modalities and or to give voices to the different amazingly talented people that have survived the depths of hell and have something very meaningful and true to sing about that is the love of God and just the love of life and the resilience. But the way that this song really also started to come was as a prayer. I'm excited to see music even go back to the way that it was originally, I believe, designed to be to be prayer and expressions of God's grace, like the Psalms. I look forward to new songs being written and new songs being sung. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Yes, I love that. How, if people want to give, we need people to give to this. How can they give?
There's a Give Send Go campaign. It's called Spiritual Warrior Song. So it's Give Send Go and then backslash Spiritual Warrior Song. And you can see the team that we have. We are incredibly honored to have the support of Kathy O'Brien. She's been really wonderful in supporting this project. Well, yeah, and we can, if people are familiar with Amy or myself or Emma, can see a little bit about the vision behind the project and what we hope to achieve with it. We would be really honored. It really has brought myself and many others to tears when we saw that we're getting support and just how it's coming together and it's being really beautifully led by God each step of the way. And yeah, we would really appreciate the support and we can't wait to bring this to fruition.
I was so excited the first time I heard about it and very honored to ask to be a part of it. I cannot tell you. And just excited to dive into it. And hopefully we can all give and all that we can to be a part of it and support you in the vision that God has given you. And very, I can't wait to see the end product and all the other things that God has for you in your life and the giftings that He has given you and the destiny that He has for you,
Oh, thank
and
you.
that you can finally walk into what God has and that the enemy tried to steal.
Thank you so much.
This is exciting.
The other piece of the project that's really important to me is that we will be paying all of the survivors involved for their time. And songs I know usually don't make money. It's not really the thing. But if there were any money at all made from as a result of it, that it's going to be split among the people that were involved in the project. Um,
Wow.
that's really important to me. And yeah, because I do see also a vehicle forward for survivors is to be entrepreneurs. There are so many really brilliant survivors, and we can empower each other and one another by supporting each other's projects or businesses. And in turn, that will, my vision for that kind of a thing with things like Spiritual Warrior, if there were opportunities that could lead to jobs for survivors, for example. I don't know how, I'm not saying that's exactly going to happen or anything, but what I'm saying is I do believe that it's important that we support each other's work and a way that people are asking how they can help survivors in general. It's number one, it's such a huge widespread issue that I think people are completely going to be blown away by the pure scale of it, how many people are affected by SRA. There are way more than I think people are ready to understand. It's very prevalent in our society globally. But if you to give a survivor an opportunity to work or to be involved in a project that they can get help to get back on their feet and stuff like that, those are things that in my long-term visions and goals, I would love to create opportunities that support and survivors and are able to be an ongoing vehicle for support, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. Wow. That's a huge vision. That's important.
Yeah.
Very important.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm very grateful to people like you that have really taken the lead. And I have so much tremendous gratitude and respect because the first goal is to survive this kind of an experience. And then the healing process is something in and of itself that really takes decades, really. So then to not only go through the healing process, but then to speak out against it and to speak out and to share truth takes a whole nother level, I would say, of courage. But the unbelievable thing that has been happening in the last couple of years is I've seen so many survivors coming forward with their testimonies and a lot of us really working together and supporting each other in a collaborative, cooperative way that I am just so inspired by. I really am. Whenever I feel like just giving up, I'll look at some brave survivor telling their story and just remember, nope, keep going, just don't give up. That's it. Just don't give up. And it's awe inspiring to see it happen. And I look forward to more of this truth being shared and more awareness being brought so that it can be more clearly seen for what it is in society. When people can see something for what it is, then it can stop. But right now, there are still so many people too asleep to how the entire system of abuse works in general that a lot of it's going on right underneath people's noses. And that's also why I think part of this project is to spark the awareness and to show the actual people that have to show actual people that have survived and are standing up and bringing this to an end so that no other child has to go through what we went through.
And to do it in a different way where a lot of people can't listen to the stories. A lot of people get even survivors get overwhelmed by the stories. So I think to put it in a non-triggering way in a song, and someone can go and look at the survivors singing really songs of victory. Look at us, we made it. Here we are, we're adults. We live, God set us free. It's a beautiful, different way to look at it. I like that.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, because it is really a lot to listen to the stories. Although I think it's important because I always remember if someone lived through that experience, I can hear about it. Although I know everybody has to utilize wisdom when it comes to that and self-care. Sometimes you just got to take a break and step back from it. But I'm very grateful that the stories are being heard. They're coming to light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're making a new way, making a whole new avenue for survivors to be heard.
Yeah.
And for survivors to see and to hear. And for other people to open their heart to survivors that maybe will never go and listen to a podcast.
Yes.
And they'll click on that and go, oh, what's this?
Yeah.
And that maybe will open a door for them. It's who knows what God's going to do with this. I'm
Yeah.
sure he's got ways that we don't even see. Oh, I never saw that coming with this. That's interesting.
Yeah, exactly. And there are so many ways that only God can see, and that one of the main things that I've learned through the healing process too, and through my journey and walk with God is what it really means to surrender and to really turn the reins over. I was watching, I don't know, I was flipping through, I was watching, there was like a reality show, and I just noticed how the instructions to the people participating in the reality show were like given to them in the morning. They get like a text and they're like, okay, do this. And then I was thinking about this exactly how in that moment, the thing that came to mind was, my gosh, Jesus is literally the producer. I'm going to just let him be the producer of my life to where on the day-to-day basis, I can get that download or the message or the divine guidance and take that action for that day. And really, it always ends up better that way because as I say that I make my plans and then God really thinks they're hilarious, they're like really funny. And so um so when it's like, okay, you be the director, the producer, I'm picturing someone with a bigger wide angle vision that can just send me the daily text, go here, do that. And it when I've been able to allow God to lead in that way, just like what you said, he can see so much more than what I can see from my limited perspective that it always turns out way better than I could ever imagine. And so my prayer and my hope is that this song is a vehicle for inspiration and and I'm very honored. I'm very honored and I can't wait to see how it keeps coming together. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us today, Andi. And I can't wait to see how it goes. We will keep everybody posted and let everyone know when it comes out. And thank you to everybody. Please pray. Pray for this, pray for the funding, and we'll just see what God has to do with it. It's going to be fascinating to watch. This is brand new territory in the community. So who knows?
Who knows? Yeah, and like
Yes.
I said, it's just already been such a blessing to be able to collaborate with survivors. So, yeah, who knows? But it's a yeah, who knows? I'm just gonna leave it open, let God take the wheel on this one. So,
And Amy Pfeffer and Emma are such a blessing. Yeah,
absolutely.
I think about that all the time. We have to be here because it happened to us, but they chose to step in and to help us. And
Yeah.
I just shake my head with all that they do all the time.
Yeah.
They're amazing. They're strong. They're powerful.
Yeah.
They love the Lord. And I just really appreciate them.
So do I. I'm very honored and blessed to be working with those incredible women and incredible women like you. And we have some men too. And in fact, I do want to honor and give just a moment to recognize one of the survivors that did contribute some of the songs or some of the lyrics to the song. He passed away yesterday, and his name is Lynn Everard. And he just was an incredible gift to this world, a survivor. He was being groomed to be a priest. He was a survivor of incest and SRA, and he used his gifts to inspire people to write books. And he published books and gave voices to many people. He was working on a project with me that he was writing a book and he was getting stories from people that didn't feel very comfortable sharing it publicly, so they were able to contribute their stories anonymously. But I do know that even if the book never happens, that I spoke to so many people that were so moved by working with Lynn through that process that there was an amazing healing that happened through that process. And I'm just really um I'm 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 really moved that he contributed some lyrics to Spiritual Warrior. And yeah, I just wanted to take a moment and to remember him and to say thank you, Lynn, and God bless you. And yeah, I'm a little discombobulated today, but so
I'm so sorry. Do you have the lyrics that he wrote? Can you share them with us?
that the lines that he contributed that we are definitely keeping in the song that I can remember off the top of my head were bells are ringing, angels singing, welcome to the new beginning. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
So literally will be an angel singing with us from heaven. And yeah. So,
Beautiful.
yeah,
Wow. And that will live on.
absolutely.
His words will live on.
Yeah.
And that's important too. that the creativities that God gives us are powerful.
Yeah. And I know his work as an author and then also helping other young authors write their books and to share their stories. He's worked with multiple survivors that have been able to get to write books of their own, even outside of the project that he was working on. Yeah. And
And way
he's
to
gonna,
go. Devil meant to take him out, destroy him, and he healed and he helped others. He touched others' lives.
he really
That's
did.
amazing. That's amazing. And you will help with his legacy in this song. And that's amazing what you're doing. You're amazing too, Andi.
Thank you, Lisa. As are you.
Thank you. And we're honored to have you here. And thank you for sharing your warrior project with us. I can't wait to hear it. I can't wait to see it. I'm so excited to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And thank you for sharing this today.
Thank you very much.
And thank you to our listeners. God bless everybody.
Only God could rescue me. Only God could set me free. Only God.